Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back, Tech 702. Mike here again with 1 hour sleep, looking like Satan's butthole. Just pooped me out right there in the middle of a Walmart. That's what my face looks like right now. So just ignore my face and heed the words that I am saying to you. Today we're going to talk about Apple being sued by the DOJ over antitrust for having a monopoly. No, not that monopoly. Come on, follow along. A real, adult financial monopoly thing. So what is a monopoly? Well, a monopoly refers to a situation where basically a company or an entity, it can be like person, LLC, whatever, a company in this case, and they have basically no competition. They're able to suppress, dominate, and control things. So they can control prices, they can control supply lines, and access to goods or services. Clearly, Apple, we know, can do all these things. Now, the DOJ's lawsuit is saying basically Apple has an illegal monopoly specifically related to its iPhone ecosystem. Ecosystem is interesting because we do have different ecosystems. You got Samsung, Google, Amazon, your mom's basement with DVDs. No, wait, I digress. Anyways, so here's how it breaks down. They're saying basically the iPhone itself is not just a standalone device. It's part of a broader ecosystem that has app stores, digital services, and hardware accessories, which is true, right? We know this. So Apple tightly controls this ecosystem. They set rules, restrictions for app developers, payment systems, and other services. Now they grant their own stuff, their own products and services, preferential treatment within the ecosystem. Obviously, you got like the App Store, so they can decide if an app succeeds or fails. If somebody's doing better than themselves, they can kick them out. They can make it slower for them to progress. They can charge them more money. They can do whatever they want, right? But this is mainly a thing and pertains to apps when it comes to Apple Pay, because they push themselves and they restrict features for other third-party systems. That's one thing. And then also they're giving themselves a seamless advantage, which, I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at third-party products, they all want to work together. They all strive to have the same standard, where Apple intentionally sets a different standard for how all common things behave within their ecosystem to make it a pain in the ass to use anything else, all right? Now, because of all these things, consumers pay higher prices because they have limited alternatives. Smaller companies will struggle with Apple services competing with them, and innovation can even suffer because competitors can be stifled by having less cash flow for not being able to sell as much shit, and or Apple can buy them out, push them out, change standards that will not work with whatever they're working on, so they won't even be able to use anything in congruence with their ecosystem. Now, I'm on X all the time. I know a lot of you are also. And the first thing you start seeing is, well, in China, 20% of people use WeChat. And it's like, yeah, we don't give a shit about China. You guys are communists. I mean, you guys make cool shit. You help us out. But people in the U.S. really don't care. In the EU, we all use WhatsApp. We don't care about iMessage. Yeah, but, in the EU, you guys have fucked up teeth and you drive on the wrong side of the road. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I probably went too far with that. Just joking. Didn't mean it. But seriously, we don't need the input from the rest of the world when it comes to U.S. antitrust issues, right? Hence, U.S. Department of Justice, not EU. EU is already trying to go after Tim's butt in a whole bunch of different ways, right? So seriously, though, U.S. antitrust has nothing to do with any other nation. United States, we do things differently. We're about guns, barbecues, and big titties. All that stuff. We do it our way. Fuck the metric system. Anyways, I digress. iMessage is probably one of the main glaring examples of all this, though, right? It intentionally doesn't play nice with standardized messaging. It delays message, it loses message, it resizes media, otherwise doesn't work. And what this does is it forces consumers to believe that every other product is either inferior to Apple, or I have to go buy an Apple because if I don't, I can't get my work done, or the kids at school will make fun of me, or I'm not going to get my homework, or I can't send that hub clip to my friend. I mean, you know what I mean. You get where we're going. I mean, it's kind of like tech, just like any other industry, they have standardization, methods of charging, transferring files, interchanging choice, follow-on products. Imagine if you bought Nike tennis shoes, right? And you only could use them if you wore Nike socks. That would be completely stupid. That's exactly what's going on. And before you get ahead of yourself, yes, pretty much everybody else works together hand in glove in the tech community to standardize anything so that Apple can sit there and do their own thing. It doesn't work like that. Even this week, Tesla, EV is still a very competitive market. Yeah, Tesla has dominance. And in fact, they have quite a dominance, especially here in the United States. But what did they do this week? They opened up their superchargers to Rivian, right? And not at like some shitty half-ass method. It's like, cool, we're going to hook you guys up. We're going to figure out, work with you, develop these adapters, get better charging, more access, go team, go EV market. And that's what they're doing. And they could have just shit on everybody, but they constantly do open source stuff and they're still profitable. So you can still be profitable. You can still be proprietary and not be a dick about screwing over everybody who doesn't want to use your product. Or maybe I just want to use one of your products and I don't want to have to buy all the products, right? Should be able to mix and match there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think the lawsuit is likely to change a whole lot. I definitely don't like big government stepping in, wear your libertarian hat here. But I mean, I see a winning scenario here for all of us if they're just forced to concede a few small quality of life improvements. So they've already they got their dick kicked in and had to switch to USB-C. That's nice. Next, I think we need to see a standardization of messaging. This doesn't mean iMessage has to work on Android. It doesn't mean they have to give all the features of iMessage. I'm not saying that. But what they do need to figure out is that whether you're messaging iPhone to an Android phone or vice versa, that you're getting a similar experience for exchanging information and media. Those two things, that's it. They don't need all the games. You don't need to put payment systems. There needs to be something figured out there. Now, they're adding RCS this year at the new iOS. Maybe that solves all this. Add RCS, integrate it, pay a small fine, and the DOJ feels like they got something done. I mean, they pretty much lose every case they've brought in lately. So I feel like if Apple does even anything at all, that they'll feel like they won and that they'll back off. What do you guys think about this? I already know you guys are going to be in your freaking feelings about it. If you're an Apple stan, you're going to be like, Apple is just better. They shouldn't be punished for it. Well, I think I laid out the case. Let me know what you think.